Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back once again, class 8 to your biology online class. I hope you all are doing well and making sincere efforts to improve your study time and completing your written work as well. In my last lecture, I had taken up adolescence and the changes during adolescence. Apart from this, the development of secondary sexual characteristics both in males and females. And I had told you the differences between the two, that is what changes are there at adolescence in girls and boys. Today, let's move on to problems related to adolescence. Now, as I have already told you that this is a transition period. That is a period where you cannot consider yourself to be a child, neither can you consider yourself to be an adult. Is that clear? So, you have to be very careful because you are passing through this age, because you consider yourself a grown up when you have to take certain decisions, and at times you are wrong because you have not passed through that particular period. So there are so many problems that you come up with. That is why this period is considered to be a very critical period in a person's life. Is that clear? Apart from the physical changes that are happening, which I had discussed in my last lecture, there are so many psychological and emotional changes also that are taking place at the same time. So you become more self-conscious. You start worrying about your body parts, feeling shy, and spend a lot of time in grooming, isn't it? So you consider yourself as an adolescent, you are a problem individual because you don't know the real outcome of a particular solution that you might be finding to a particular problem. So you need guidance at each and every step. So these are a few things that you are worried about. That is, you become more self-conscious. You are worried, I have developed pimple and my skin has become so oily, and there are so many other things which worry you. So you should always take advice from your elders, especially your mother, or if you have older siblings at home, especially your sisters at home, elder sisters at home. You feel shy in sharing problems with others. So there are certain problems which you should get a solution to. You do not have to keep on carrying on with you because they might be a source of a constant problem for you later on. So you should always discuss if you don't understand anything and you have problems. You feel insecure while trying to adjust with the changes occurring in your bodies. So what is the problem? That obviously the changes at any time are not always the changes which are welcome by you might not like, but you have to accept them as such. Is that clear? Because they are a part of your life. They have emotional outbursts. You cry a lot sometimes, and you're very happy at times, and this is generally due to emotional swing. You're feeling very low and very dull at times. You are very elated, very happy, very excited. So this is just because of the changing hormones in your body. So you start giving more importance to your friends. You share more things with your friends and spending more time with your friends. I'm not talking about specifically about this time when you are passing through an age of pandemic, but then also you want to spend more time with your friends. So they mostly spend time with their fellow mates, also called peers. Sometimes copy their behavior also at home. Also you might have your cousins or other people around you, your neighbors. They are called your peers because they are much of the same age group, and you are so much under the influence that you tend to copy. So they search for a unique social identity for themselves. They are often confused between what is right and what is wrong because you don't know exactly what is what. You have grown up no matter, but you don't have that maturity in you. You have not passed through that ages that you develop an experience about those particular things, and you know the proper solution. I'm not saying it is every time, but mostly you should discuss if you have any problems. So thus this period denotes a period of storms and stress, because at time you don't tend to understand and things, and you have a very negative attitude towards it. And if people try to explain things to you, you don't try to understand. You are stressed. Okay, what to do, what should I do, and how should I cope up with things. They get attracted towards the opposite sex. You should be very careful for this, because at times this attraction can be a little bit more, and unless and until you discuss these things with your parents, I don't think you should go for it. They become worried about the future. Yes, what will I do? Most of you develop a sense of insecurity that I cannot decide at this age what to do and what not, and which subject should I choose and which not. So you have to take advice from your elders. Is that clear? And especially your siblings around you, or your cousins and your friends. Is that clear? So a temporary stage of depression. Adolescents should learn to cope with the stress caused by these changes. They should not lose confidence or develop anxiety over small. Anxiety means confusion and state of fear. Is that clear? You should not feel lonely, because your parents are there to talk to you, alhamdulillah. And you should develop that sense of understanding with your parents, so that you can easily discuss whatever problems you come up with. Is that clear? And you will be going to different schools after this class 8 now, and you will be coming on contact with different type of girls. You have to be very careful in choosing your friends. So, and this is an age where all these things are very common, smoking and drugs. So you have to be very careful about these things. Is that clear? Because these things may make you addicted. You become used to it and you cannot leave them. Is that clear? So your body becomes used to it, and you will have a problem in leaving them. Once you get used to them, you get addicted to them. Now let's come to the exercise that is on page number 59. Tick the correct options. The period of life characterized by physical and emotional changes in the body that leads to reproductive maturity is called, yes, it is called puberty. Is that clear? Then adolescence begins at the age of 11 and lasts up to 18 to 19 years of age. Is that clear? Next, at the age at which the production of sex hormones begins and a boy or girl becomes sexually mature to reproduce is called, yes, it is called, yes, puberty. Is it clear? So the period of life characterized by physical and emotional changes in the body that lead to reproductive maturity is called, yes, I wanted you to make changes over here on your own. You have not been able to raise it. Is, yes, it is adolescence. Now the definition I have told you, that the period of age at which the production of sex hormones begins and a boy or girl becomes sexually mature to reproduce is called puberty. Which of the following changes does not occur during adolescence? It is, yes, decrease in height. It will be an increase in height, it will not be decrease in height. Is that clear? Then which of the following are not secondary sexual characters? That is facial and chest hair in boys, hair under the arms and pubic regions in both boys and girls, development of breast, and these increase in height. Of course it is increase in height. The thick and soft lining of the uterus comes out along with blood from the vagina. It is called, yes, menstruation. Is that clear? It is called menstruation. I hope you are revising your previous lessons, because if you don't revise it again, even though you are having online test and you are cheating, but then you will face problems once you go to class 9th. Is that clear? Next is take up what you should do and cross what you should not. Please do this on your own now. Next is the personal hygiene. Now, as an individual, you should maintain personal hygiene, that individual cleanliness. Is that clear? You should keep yourself neat and clean, and because that protects you from various diseases. And how do we maintain personal hygiene? We maintain it by basic cleanliness, having good eating habits and proper lifestyle. Is that clear? So what are the steps in basic cleanliness? Now basically I have told you that there is increased secretion of the sweat and sebum, that is the oily secretion from your skin, because of the increased activity of these glands. So your body has a bad smell, it has body odor. Is that clear? So we should do to bath daily with soap and clean water, because it helps in removing the dirt, germs and sweat. Is that clear? So brush your teeth daily, twice a day. Wash your hands with soap and water before and after meals and after using the toilets. Is that clear? So you should be very careful about this, all these things. Then adopt regular toilet habits. Is that clear? It should not be that you are in a need to go to the toilet, but you keep on resisting yourself. No, I will not. I am doing this and that. Never try doing that. Wear clean clothes and undergarments. Exactly, undergarment should be changed every day. Girl should take special care of cleanliness during the time of menstruation, because it can be a source of infection also. So you should change your sanitary pad every, if not 4 times, at least 3 times a day. Is that clear? And you should change your undergarment every day. Then good eating habits. What are the good eating habits? Take a balanced diet, a diet which contains minerals, vitamins, protein, carbohydrate, fats and of course roughage. Is that clear? Because this is an age where there is rapid growth and development. So you need to have proper nutrition, and this is the age that you indulge in lot of junk food. Is that clear? You don't tend to take proper meals. You rely more on junk food. You rely more on pizza, burgers, and you would like to have kulcha naharis, kebab parathas. No, don't indulge in all these things much. Have proper food that has been prepared, taking care of the cleanliness. Is that clear? And hygiene. So you should take care and take proper meals at home. Eat fresh fruits that have been washed properly, and avoid stale food. Not have stale food. Is that clear? That stale, you understand? The food which has been kept for some time, especially the food which has been prepared say a day before or so, and you're having it next day. So that is stale food. Do not eat very oily or junk food, and include fruits and milk in your daily diet, because it is a rich source. Milk is a rich source, or it's a good source of calcium and other vitamins and minerals. Same with the fruits and vegetables that you eat. Then you should have a proper lifestyle. Now these 15 healthy eating habits, please take care of them also, and keep in mind that you should have proper food every day. Now the healthy lifestyle, that do regular exercise. I am not asking you to weight lift. This is just a sign to show that you should be exercising regularly. If you cannot do anything, just walk. Walking is a good exercise. Skipping at this age is a good exercise. Cycling is a good exercise. Playing in games like badminton and all, it's a good exercise. So play outdoor games, take a regular walk, and take proper rest and sleep. Is that clear? And don't spend more time on television. Is that clear? Because as it is on mobile, you have to keep an eye on, because you are having regular online classes. So you have to, of course, I won't say that don't use mobile, because you have to use, that is a necessity nowadays, but don't waste much time on television. So these are some of the things which are important for your healthy living, that is basic cleanliness, good eating habits and proper lifestyle. Then stress and its management. What is stress? Now stress is a state of mental, that is dealing with your mind, emotional or physical strain. Is that clear? This is called stress. In simple terms, it is called tension. So if you are emotionally upset, or you have some changes in your body that is making you upset, or you are disturbed because of your surroundings, there are certain things which are disturbing you. So this is stress. Is that clear? So stress is the response of a body to any demand or pressure, and it is natural. You are not letting it happen, or you're not making it happen, but it is on its own. So it has both good and bad effects for us. For example, you have a test tomorrow. The stress caused by it gives you motivation to study. Now, I'm not saying it for, because most of you all are copying, and or not copying, then you are copying it from not your notebooks or books, you are copying it from the net. So otherwise, the regular classes that you have in school, at least you study for your test. It gives you motivation to study. But if you are too stressed, then you will not be able to concentrate, and the performance will be affected, especially at the time of exams. You're having that problem. Is that clear? So don't stress out. Prepare things in small sections or small portions. Get into the habit of regular studying. Whatever part that has been covered in school, please try to cover it, if not on the same day, at least third day. Is that clear? But it is the best thing that teacher is not covering much every day. So keep on going along with the speed of the teacher. Keep covering the subject accordingly. So and apart from this, when we feel that we have to handle more than we can, at times the homework is much, so you cannot do the learning work, and you feel stressed out. Along with that, you're having a unit test also. So that is why I'm saying prepare as it comes. Is that clear? Don't leave it for the for the main day. Is that clear? On that very day when the test has to take place. When we face stress, our body responds as if we are in some kind of danger. That is what happens. The heartbeat becomes more, and the pulse rate becomes more, and we start sweating. These are some of the changes that our body is responding. How body is responding because of the production of more hormones. And that is why I'm saying these hormones increase the heartbeat and breathing rate, and we get more energy from this, because more oxygen is being pumped, more blood is being circulated in the body. Is that clear? So what are the causes of stress? What are the different causes? It can be a pressure from friends, which is called peer pressure, and these are the things. Stress of studies and examination, pressure of school. You might be having extracurricular activities at home, in school, and apart from the regular studies, then moving to a new home, school, test and homework, high expectations from parents and teachers, disagreement over any issue, over the people we love. Is that clear? Pubertal changes, or too fast or too slow physical development. Then family problems, including abuse and alcohol, physical and emotional abuse and neglect, employment, owing a car, money problems. And these are some of the things which you might be stressed with. Is that clear? So what could be the possible effects of these stress? These are the ways or methods to treat and tackle stress. It's called stress management, and it involves taking charge of your life and learning ways to deal with the problems and emotions you face. It's clear that they are with you and you have to face them. And what in order to cope with the negative effects of stress, to the reduction of the stress response, how we respond to a particular stress, is that clear? We have to learn how to tackle with it. And no matter how difficult our life seems, there is always a way to be happy and stress free, always. And as Muslims, you have to have that faith in you, that iman in you. Yes, nothing can happen with me unless and until, of course, Allah Ta'ala wants. So you have to be very positive. Allah tawakkal you have to have. Nothing can go against me. And if you have that full faith in Allah, nothing, of course, inshallah, will never go wrong with you, because Allah knows the best for you and Allah does the best for you. We don't know what is the maslahat behind it. Exactly. So you have to be stress free. You have to pray. You have to believe in yourself. Is that clear? So there are certain steps to manage that stress, and basically there are two types of management. That is, one is aimed at reducing the biological effects of stress. Example, reducing the fight or flight response to the use of drug therapies. That is, I have told you, fight or flight in the sense that either fight with it or just develop problems which can make things worse. Exactly, or either to have drugs, and for that we have to take drugs. So better not rely on these drugs, because definitely they are chemicals and they can have certain side effects also. So there are certain ways in which you can reduce the stress. One is yoga, and it is a mind body practice that combines physical poses. You must have seen many people doing those asanas, the poses that they perform, or poses they maintain themselves in for doing these asanas. Deep and controlled breathing, that is very important, and meditation, deep thinking. Is that clear? It helps reduce stress by increasing flexibility and muscle strength. It also helps in reducing weight, and it has a positive effect on our well-being. Apart from this, manage your time. You have to manage your time, prepare for the day, enjoy the little things. Is that clear? Then exercise, regular exercise helps us to cope with stress. It promotes physical and mental well-being. It is not regular exercise by doing those full-fledged exercises. Walking is a good exercise, jogging, running, skipping, swimming, playing outdoor games like badminton, cricket, football. These are very good source. So I won't expect you to play football and all, but at least you can play badminton at home. Is that clear? And then time management, I have told you, learn to manage your time properly and plan your work and get organized. Practice hobbies, that it can be in the form of reading books, it can be in the form of writing some poem, or doing calligraphy, drawing something, singing, then listening to music, playing a musical instrument or any sport. But as a teacher, I would advise that, being a Muslim, I don't expect you to listen to music. Practice on whatever skills you have. Practice night, practice. If you have a good flair for writing, write poems. Is that clear? And learn to recite good hums and nazms and poetry in English and Urdu both. Is that clear? And that, because reading is the best hobby, because it calms your mind, increases your knowledge. Then you should have proper sleep and diet, take proper sleep and rest. Then laugh often, because laughter is the best medicine. It improves your mood. So enjoy nature and creativity, breathe deeply and meditate daily. Is that clear? Keep a joy journal, sleep well, and so these are some of the ways in which you can manage the stress. Then move on to the exercise on page number 81. Yes, now fill in the blank. Due to the increased activity of, yes, salivary and sweat gland. both. Is that clear? The body smells bad. A state of mental, emotional or physical strain is called stress. Is it clear? Stress. Then salivary and sweat gland. Then blank and blank are the effects of stress. Yes, it is anxiety and headache, both. And blank is a mind body practice that combines physical poses, yoga. And what helps us cope with stress? Regular exercise help us cope with stress. So this is the completion, or I have completed chapter 5 also, and I will revise it and do the exercise with you in the next session, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.